Thank you for being here. I'm going to talk to you about cute ag. But before I start, there's the session QR. If you have questions, I'm not going to take questions, but I want you to use this to put comments or anything else that you want to flash on stage after my 5 minutes. I'm going to talk about cute ag and the role of culture in shaping technology because this is my latest obsession. And it has like cute ag has a lot of mimetic power that I hope will catch on with you. And why am I talking about cute ag? I'm not going to describe you what cute ag is because I think you have to feel it and I think you all can relate somehow with it. I'm going to talk to you about why I actually think it matters and why I care so much about this. And this is because we're going through, I think the world right now is going through a war of meaning about like what is good and what is bad. There is a lot of weaponization of what is good or bad, these notions to actually do harm or to impose bad things on good people. And we see also within our industry the fact that cypherpunk is seeing a revival, that Ethereum wants to make it cypherpunk again, and the whole track in Devcon about cypherpunk. But I am actually worried when I see how we idolize cypherpunk technology or how we are idolizing privacy and also the projects and the people that are involved with this one particular set of technology, because cypherpunk does not necessarily mean good or bad, right? It's kind of the end, the technology that is being birthed, but the whole process that leads us to this technology is not necessarily a process that is grounded in goodness or that has some values that goes with it. I think it's very similar to having a kind of like single issue approach to things. And we saw that with the US elections where politics have been supported by our industry, although there is actually nothing, I think, cute about this politics. And maybe it can serve our industry in the short term, but I don't think that if we imagine a utopian future, then there is going to be these sets of politicians in it. So cypherpunk is not enough, and I think that we need to put the bar way higher and not just be content with cypherpunk technology and not just be idolizing or having cult of personalities around people involved in cypherpunk technology if there is not this goodness that goes with it, and if actually the way they are building and the means that they're using toward this end is good and something that we want to be associated with and we want to see in the world. Yes, another cat. So yeah, cypherpunk needs to be grounded in goodness, but how can we actually ground it in what is good? Like what is good, what is bad? Like I cannot tell you what is good and what is bad because I have my own opinions, but I don't think that these are universal truth. And I think history proves to us that too, like what was good or bad in the past is not necessarily good today. What was bad in the past may even be desirable today, and with the same logic, things will change in the future. So there is no one single universal truth within time, and our technology is kind of transcends time, right? And we cannot make this decision today of what is good and bad and have it stuck for the future. But at the same time, it transcends space as well. Like what is good or bad in a specific culture or for a specific person is not necessarily the case elsewhere. People have different priorities and different values. So absent the possibility of rationally coming up with what is good and what is bad, how can we conduct ourselves? Because I still think that we should not give up on grounding cypherpunk in goodness. And when we see that fascism and hatred and violence is accelerating in the world, while we're living in this world of actual abundance, so we have democracy, we have a lot of toolings, we have amazing technology like internet, blockchain, distributed consensus mechanism, AI, and despite this abundance, there's a lot of negative things that are accelerating. And I think that we need, on the other hand, to accelerate positive culture, and this positive culture acceleration must come through cuteness and cute acceleration. And I think that this one sentence that someone told me yesterday about it summarizes really well. Feeling, this fuzzy feeling that we all have experienced when we're faced with cuteness is actually very powerful. It takes a lot of space within us. It removes space that could be used to do harm or removes tolerance for harm as well. It promotes collaboration, promotes motivation. Feeling good is great, it has value in itself, and I think that we should all be cute accelerationists. Thank you.
Thank you for the lovely presentation. We're going to have a few questions here based on the most top voted comments. What visual symbols and imagery could help the cypherpunk model move to be grounded in goodness?
So, I don't know, this is up to all of you, but I'm actually forgot to mention this. I'm wearing this little toy that is swag from the DIAC day that you should go check out. And this is exactly an example of like a really cute, useful swag that does accelerate goodness because it's useful and you can find out more about it at their booth.
And more of a serious question. So multinationals, corporations play a huge role in shaping the tech landscape for developing countries. So what do you think about this on a global scale? How might this impact local cultures and economies for you?
Yes, I mean, this is a big problem, right? And that's what I call tech neocolonialism, when like a set of like a few entities and people and technology are actually imposing our online realities to the whole world. And then it does impact a lot culture, and I think culture is becoming more and more harmonized the more we're moving and the more we're interconnected. But I think by bringing in cute act again, we can actually have this critical view of technology and decide whether or not like it's cute and whether or not we want to promote it or even relate to it. Like, is surveillance cute? I don't really think so, right? Like, there are so many things that I think we can navigate through this lens. There was no troll questions. I invited you to do so.
Any final questions from the audience? Otherwise, if you have any follow-up or detailed questions, please shoot the Q&A and then we can have it all. Perhaps we can maybe give it to the audience for one final special edition before lunch break. Cannot. But you can always follow up with Fatemeh later. So this will conclude the session on the role of culture in shaping technology, the case against tech neocolonialism. We'll have our next session in approximately an hour from now at 1:10 p.m. Thank you very much for your time.